Welcome back to the Compliance Kitchen. This is Sylvia, and in today's episode, let's take a look at a recent rule from the BIS, or the Bureau of Industry and Security. As you guys know, this is a bureau that sits inside the Commerce Department. So on November 4th, they published a final rule amending the EAR, or Export Administration Regulations, by adding 4 entities to the entity list. This was in connection with malicious cyber activities. So the BIS tells us that the End User Review Committee that was chaired by the Commerce Department and includes also Departments of Defense, State Energy, and where appropriate Treasury, has determined that the conduct of these 4 companies raises sufficient concern to place them on the entity list pursuant to Section 744.11b of the Export Administration Regulations, or EAR. The entities are located in Israel, Russia, and Singapore. We have the NSO Group, that's a company in Israel. The next one is Kandiru, also located in Israel. The government determined that these entities developed and supplied spyware to foreign governments that use these tools to maliciously target government officials, journalists, business people, activists, academics, and embassy workers. And these tools have also enabled foreign governments to conduct transnational repression, which is the practice of authoritarian governments. The other 2 companies that were added to the entity list are Positive Technologies, located in Russia, and Computer Security Initiative Consultancy PTE Ltd. So that tells you that's a company in Singapore. The government determined that these 2 companies traffic in cyber exploits used to gain access to information systems, threatening the privacy and security of individuals and organizations worldwide. So as you guys know, the entity list restricts the export, re-export, and in-country transfer of items that are subject to the EAR, or Export Administration Regulations, to persons. This would mean also not just individuals, but also organizations and companies who are reasonably believed to be involved or have been involved, or they pose a significant risk of being involved in activities that are contrary to the national security or foreign policy interests of the United States. Entities that are listed on the entity list are subject to the Bureau of Industry and Security license requirement that applies to all items that are subject to the EAR. No license exceptions are available to the entities that are being added to the entity list in this rule that we are talking about today. So no license exceptions for these 4. This action follows a recent interim final rule that was released by Commerce Department, establishing controls on the export, re-export, and in-country transfer of certain items that can be used for malicious cyber activities. If you guys want to check out that interim rule and more on this, I have a prior post on the Compliance Kitchen's website, and of course there's a post on the final rule from November 4th that we just covered.